consideration of a resolution of the Commission of Knox County, Tennessee, appropriating funds previously approved in the capital plan over a period of 2 fiscal years to the Economic Development Board of Knox County for long-term economic development.
Intergovernmental.
On a vote of 5 to 4, we voted to approve.
Finance Committee.
Finance voted 8-0 for approval with an amendment. And what was that, Mr. Law Director? I've forgotten.
Came from Commissioner Grease, I believe, to take it, put it in this year's capital plan.
The amendment that I offered that passed 8-0 in finance was that the money previously appropriated by this commission in fiscal years 2008 and not appropriated, designated for 2008 and 2009, instead be moved to 2007, so that 2007, 2008, and 2009's capital plan be combined into the current year. I also suggested that be, at the time, committed to the Industrial Development Board, but after thinking that over and talking with a commissioner or two, I think the more appropriate, and I'll make this amendment to the motion, is that the money be earmarked to the Development Corporation of Knox County. So the motion that I will make is that the funds in the capital plan designated for economic development for 2008 and 2009 be now moved into 2007 fiscal year to be controlled by the Development Corporation.
I'll second that one.
Okay, any discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Luto.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Warner, where would these funds come in? It'd just be from the general fund, or
it'll be bond proceeds?
Bond proceeds?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, Commissioner Duda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just curious to know if Mr. Edwards just passed muster with you. I mean, if you're okay, just give me a thumbs up. Okay.
Commissioner Mark Harmon.
I would note that this is just a stalking horse for the Midway Business Park, which is a unneeded park over a sinkhole and over a significant community objection. And I hope we take the opportunity now to say no.
Okay. Any more discussion?
Mr. Chairman.
Hey, Commissioner Mills.
I would like to call on the attorney, was it you, to speak on this, if you don't mind.
Thank you, Mr. Commissioner. David Book, attorney, 707 Market Street, Knoxville. I represent the individual plaintiffs who have brought an action against this body, Metropolitan Planning Commission, regarding the rezoning of this to industrial, or for commercial, for the purpose of getting to industrial. I was before this body on that. Like Mr. Owings, when I filed that lawsuit, like Mr. Owings said earlier, I firmly believed everything I said in there on behalf of my clients. I firmly believe that we have a substantive lawsuit, and I think that ultimately we will prevail. Obviously, the county thinks otherwise. But the bottom line is there's a suit pending, and my concern is this. There's already been over $10 million spent, including some $600,000 or $700,000 in commissions to purchase this property, notwithstanding the fact that a lawsuit was immediately filed seeking a permanent injunction against building and using this property as it was asked to be rezoned. I think the concern I have is that the papers, what I read is that the Development Corporation wants this money so it can begin to do the improvements on that property, notwithstanding that there's a lawsuit seeking a permanent injunction. And the reasoning that I am told by my clients that they have gotten from at least one, if not more, members of this commission is, oh, if we get to work and get this stuff built before the lawsuit, no judge is ever going to order us to tear it down and go back to the way it was. Now, to me, that's showing some disrespect for the court system. We're in there. Normally, my complaint would have had to been answered in 30 days. Mr. Owings said that he didn't have the transcript, and I know that he has been tied up in this other annexation issue. And as we old-time attorneys are prone to do in this county, we abide our fellow attorneys who are overburdened with their docket. Otherwise, if I'd have known that this was going to happen, then I certainly would have filed a motion for default and sought immediate answers so we could get this lawsuit going. Further, the Development Corporation has asked to be a party to this lawsuit, and as of an order entered in the court, is now a party. And for the Development Corporation to ask for additional funds for the purpose of constructing on this property when they are part of a lawsuit which the judge may issue a permanent injunction is, to me, showing a disrespect for the court and the system. So it's my proposition to this body that be denied if the purpose is, as published by the Development Corporation, to begin development pending the tenure of this particular lawsuit. It just wouldn't be proper. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Valiant, I guess you want to...
I'm John Valiant, 800 South Gay Street. I represent the Development Corp. And if you recall, I represented the Development Corporation when this property was zoned. This is just part of the process. As you know from hearing it, to those of you who were here when we asked it to be rezoned, it was a long process that we arrived at selecting the Midway Road site. This is money that has been promised already, and we're just asking that the county follow up on its promises. As you all will recall, several years back, the Development Corporation received orders from this body, received orders from the county mayor to start looking for property to develop so we can recruit industry and get jobs, and that's exactly what we're doing. We've spent close to $10 million acquiring this property already. We've zoned it, and now we're just asking that the money, as promised, be appropriated so that we can develop it. As far as Mr. Buke's comments that it's a disrespect for the court system, I have never done anything that's disrespectful of the court system and wouldn't now. They have requested an injunction, which has not been granted. The Development Corporation and my position in handling these cases over a number of years is I don't believe they're going to be successful in this cause of action because the courts usually uphold the legislative body if there's any reason to do so. And I think when this body voted to zone this property, that they had ample reason to do so. So I would ask that you do what has been promised in the past and let us go forward with this, and that is to appropriate this money.
Thank you, Mr. Valiant. Commissioner Lambert?
Yeah. Is there any way that we can still approve these monies and ask the Development Corporation to focus their spending on areas that are not irreversible? What I'm going at here is that there is a lawsuit that is pending in this case, and I'm wondering if we could ask that you guys concentrate your spending on, say, infrastructure issues like running sewer out to the location and save the actual moving dirt on the location until after this litigation is settled. I'm wondering, would that throw the project off significantly if we worked outside the site to get the site ready prior to this lawsuit?
No, and in fact, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're not going to.
So you're not going to build buildings that are going to have to be torn down if a judge orders it? Okay. Well, I'm going to vote to support this, and I'd like to encourage my colleagues to as well.
Commissioner Ballard?
Yes. You know, in this, I still don't think that y'all work good with the community. The community didn't want it, and that's no secret.